Hey guys, I'm Sdanwolf. Welcome back to the channel. I have got another interesting little coaster for you guys. We've kind of, not gonna lie, this has taken up quite a lot of space. And I think it's one of those things I've got to work on. And I'll show you when we get into the real time here in a little bit what I mean by it's taken up so much space and there's so much path real estate that has to go around it. But nonetheless, it was a really fun build. I'm almost done with it. And it is just, I would describe this ride, haven't named it yet either. Went with Timberwolf for the wooden coaster that we just built. Really like that. That was one of the highest voted names on the wooden coaster, so we went with Timberwolf on that. Don't have a name for this yet, but this I would honestly consider this like if you know, Expedition Everest and Seven Dwarfs Mine Train had a hybrid baby. That's how I would explain this ride. And like I was mentioning, I think the park needed this big, very high budget, very high multi-million-dollar project. Kind of one of those rides where you don't skip it when you come to the park. And it is, you know, there's a little bit of an argument to be made, like I went a little too big on this, and you'll see it when we go into the real time, as almost, I don't want to say genre breaking, or I don't want to say story breaking, as far as like, okay, Wilderness Springs was supposed to be like this, you know, little Dollywood-esque Silver Dollar City regional park, and with something like this high budgeted multi-million-dollar attraction, you know, it almost like we're breaking our own immersion here by going out on such a big limb with this type of attraction. But we can also look at it as one of you guys were spinning it as you know, the park has been around for a long time. You know, financially, we could assume maybe it's doing really well. Maybe they've announced like a, you know, a $500 million commitment a few years ago. And, you know, this is maybe one of those commitments to bring out a very high dollar e-ticket type coaster attraction that really, you know, arguably could put Wilderness Springs on the map of not just being a water park and a little regional park, but having that really high dollar attraction that people could, you know, like I said, not skip it during their trip. Like it's one thing that they have to come to the park and ride before they leave. With things, you know, like Timberwolf, you know, could be skipped. You might skip the train. You know, you might not go see any of the shows, but this is one of those attractions where, you know, I'm building it with the thought of this is it with the park. Like this is what everybody comes to do. And who knows, we may end up doing some more things, you know, out in the little sliver of land we have. But over here in Rivertown Junction, kind of right off to the, you know, breaking off right off to the left when you come into the park, I just think this is just going to be such a cool, like, presence. It's such it's almost like a type of experience where the guests can have an experience of it and not even ride it. When we go into the real time, you'll see like it's that large and imposing and can be seen from a lot of different areas of the park. And there's you know, I'm gonna have like little seating areas out here where if you want to grab your lunch and come over and just people watch and just, you know, be in the kinetic energy area of this ride. And I think that's what's so cool about it. It's going to be one of those rides where you don't even have to be riding it to enjoy it. It's really going to encompass that type of vibe for the park now that I think the park was lacking. You know, we could almost even say Timberwolf was a very old attraction, maybe even one of the original OG coasters, whereas this one, you know, this is definitely modern, definitely high budget, and highly themed. And I filmed probably like an hour and a half of the actual build right here. Then I stopped and went and grabbed lunch, and I came back and started building a whole bunch more. But I didn't want to have like a 20-minute long time lapse. So this is about, I think this time lapse is like 12 minutes long, and then we'll jump into the real time version. But you know, the other thing about this project, this coaster in particular, has almost reinvigorated me with Wilderness Springs. And it's weird, like some of you guys even pointed out in the last video, when we were going over Timberwolf and trying to decide what to name it and what we were going to do, you know, some people were even saying like that was almost like a throwaway episode, like I was bored, and that part of Wilderness Springs lost its magic. And I definitely think there is some credence to that, and I was feeling that all week. This is like the first time at the beginning of the week, probably Tuesday-ish, where the fatigue of Wilderness Springs crept in. You know, meaning I kind of come down here, I sat, I scrolled around a little bit, and everything for the first time seemed a little daunting. And it was like, for the first time in a month, I was like, man, I don't feel like sitting down here doing this. I am kind of bored. I'm kind of ready to move on. And I think you guys could sense that in Timberwolf's episode. That was really, that was a really shoddy episode, I think. With this project, it was another one of those projects where I've literally sat down here all day and have been building again for fun. I really think that your Timberwolf episode was one of those designs that I did just because I needed to get an episode out. And it's so crazy how you guys pick up on that. And, you know, like we said, it was almost like a throwaway episode. It wasn't inspiring. It wasn't clever. It wasn't magical. It was like one of those weird times where you recorded just to get something out. And I've not had one episode of Wilderness Springs like that. Until that episode on what was it, Thursday, I believe, or might have been yesterday. I can't think. I think it might have been Friday when I dropped that. By the time you're watching this video, it's going to be Sunday morning, and I feel creatively back. And a lot of my buddies, Geekism, Beyond Drew, a lot of them, Leaf, a lot of them have told me in private they've kind of hit a block, and then, you know, it just takes something little to kind of kickstart it again. And I think that's what happened to me today when we were talking in that episode last time about doing a Seven Dwarfs mine train. That really got the gears flowing, like, okay, I want to try that, but I don't want to try it on this map. And then, you know, I come down here this morning and I'm like, okay, what if I practice on Seven Dwarfs Mine Train? Like, okay, we'll go and do Seven Dwarfs on another map whenever, but what if I go ahead and use Wilderness Springs to practice a layout like that, a build like that, you know, launch Vekoma type scenario with that, which, you know, this is traditional lift hill kind of coming out of the top of the mine up here. But I was just thinking, like, this creatively broke my block that was starting to creep up. And it was like, it was one of those things again where you guys are probably gonna, I know some of you are gonna comment like, my gosh, how did you get so much of this done? Like, how did you do all this? It was one of these flow state builds again, just like the water park was, and your little main highway out here. It's one of those weird things that happens when you, like, just when inspiration strikes and you're not trying to force it for a YouTube video. I think from now on, if that happens, I'm just gonna scrap the freaking video until something's ready. Until something is organically ready, I'm not going to, there's not going to be another Timberwolf episode like that. You know, you guys, you know, trust me too much and put way too much faith in me to put out crap episodes like that. And I think you guys could sense it. I sensed it editing the video, and that was just crap. Should not have even put that out there. This should have waited, and it could have been a video today. Or, you know, it could even encompass tomorrow. But yeah, that was, I don't like doing that. I don't like feeling like that. It was an icky kind of feeling. And it was just, you know, it was like you get into. It was one of those deals where I was just I was droning on a video to get one out for the channel instead of pacing myself, fleshing out a good idea. And you know, one can argue the coaster come out okay, but I'm just saying from a presentation side and from a video side, 100% forced. And I plan on not doing that again to you guys. We are going to wait until things are ready, and we are going to, you know, just take our time and have fun with it like we've been doing for the entire month. And, you know, I just think this is the project that kind of broke me of, okay, don't do that again. So anyways, let's jump into the real time. Wow, I can yap for 12 minutes really, really quick. I'm running out of time-lapse footage. Let's jump over to the real time. You'll see I've got a bunch more done. And let me see what you guys think about this new Wilderness Springs project. All right, guys, I knew you all would love this first drop. Like, isn't that awesome how it's kind of, it just hugs the terrain as it's coming out of the mine? This is what I meant by the really, really fun Expedition Everest vibes. You know, just that first drop and that bend. And I have got a bunch of mine, you know, like a mountain interaction over here. I think you guys are going to think is really cool. Definitely leaned into that, you know, let's take it in and out of the mountain, in and out of the mine shafts, and just really, really, really fun. Just fun design process on this. And then we actually have 2 lift hills, and we've got a second drop over here, kind of like on the back half, second half of the ride. That kind of sends them back over towards the station. And this is our newest attraction for Wilderness Springs. And this is what I was saying too, that's pretty cool. Look, when you make your way off of the monorail, look, even if you're all the way over here, you can see it. And then of course, you know, if it pulls you this way, you've got that look underneath the train trestle here. And then there is your entrance to the queue over there off to the left. And we've got so many good picture taking opportunities, so many different, you know, of course we've got to finish some landscaping right here and put some fencing up. But I just think this would be a really cool spot. Oh, and let me show you. Oh, I didn't get over there in time. But yeah, so that is kind of what we're thinking for this new area. They'll kind of hit this little bit of a brake run, slow them down a little bit, and then they will start their way up this. With the second one, I kind of wanted to do a half enclosed, half open lift hill, just because their view up here before this big drop, kind of looking out towards the river, I think would be a really, really fun kind of, you know, just little break moment before they hit this, this last drop. And so, yeah, they are hauling butt through there, and they kind of come back around this little last part that they passed at the beginning. And then finally they hit the last little brake run and kind of swing back into the station a little fast. But yeah, this is This has just been so much fun. I can't wait to start reading your all's comments and just what you think about this whole area. Let's kind of wait here for a minute and let me just show you this insane loop and this interaction here. And I love it when it kind of comes flying out of this second drop. We'll go ahead and ride it in a second too, but just check the flow of this right here, kind of going back into that section of the mine. Here they come. And then you're hitting that like that is a pretty steep drop out of there, you know? Then you kind of come flying back out over the lily pads, kind of in the water section over here. And then you're preparing to go up that lift hill. The thing I was talking about with it taking up so much space is look at with the way that it's laid out and how far I went over. Look how goofy and long the path is right here. That is something I don't like. Really very I don't think that's a good look, like having people walk that far of a stretch. And I think one thing I may be able to do is I think I'm gonna break it up right here and put like a seating area, maybe a shaded area, just something to break up that long piece of path. That was just, that was a little goofy of me. And I don't know what I was thinking as far as taking that out so far, but we need to break that little path up because like I said, it's goofy. You would make them walk that far out there with nothing going on besides a little stopping point to watch the coaster. Oh, hold on, let's see if we can see. Some of this is still actually underground. I gotta fix it, but look, like looking straight down towards the entrance. That would be a heck of a drop. And then definitely that's pretty cool coming out of that mine. And you are swinging here. Got to work on this roof clearance a little bit for the second drop. But we'll have this thing. This thing is pretty much, it's once I start designing the queue that's kind of going to go, between the railroad track and the mountain here. This thing is almost ready for people. And then of course you guys named Timberwolf, very popular attraction right now. And as a matter of fact, let me see. Make sure I do a proper shout out here because that was a very cool comment. I got a bunch of upvotes. Let me see who that was. Okay, the shout out for the original Timberwolf needs to go to, well, there are so many comments on this, guys. Thank you all for all the support. Let's look at that top comment. Here we go. Okay, Platinum Title 7094 just randomly said Timberwolf could be a neat name. Honestly though, I did like Wild Grizzly Rampage as well, but I think that Timberwolf just kind of encompasses this whole area. Cool, just the wild frontier mountainous area of that ride. So yeah, we went with Timberwolf. It would be cool if one of you all could make me like a a really cool wolf statue, like even if you could do it out of wood and make it look cool, I think that would be awesome. Maybe remove the train, and even you know, just put it right here above the Timberwolf sign. I think that would be awesome to have a wooden carved wolf. And then of course too, guys, we've got to name this. We've got to name this monstrosity that I've built over here. So maybe we could do some kind of mine in the name. Something to that effect. Some kind of expedition, something. Yeah, this is almost ready for people. And then also too, the crazy thing about this is once again, while I'm over there building that, you have all of this to our backs. Like that, this is still just mind-blowing that all of this is going on the same map. And one of my buddies was also talking about, I think we mentioned on the last episode about how I cut this path off right here so the people wouldn't try to walk back and forth. I have been in here building, and both of the parks have been fairly full again. So that's been cool to see. It's always fun when you come over here and all the pools are filled with people, but then you also come over here to the theme park, and there's all kinds of stuff going on over here too. Look, you can barely kind of see the top of the mine from over here, even in front of Fire Chaser. Let's just see like where all we can see that from. Can you see it from Balloonorama? No? Okay, if you make your way, oh, you kind of start to see it if you're over here in Country Fair. That's cool. Coming out of the exit of Fire Chaser, there's somebody in a bikini. Yeah, that's still, like I said, man, that is a lot of real estate. This is a little seating area I was talking about. It would be cool if you grabbed some food and come over here and sat and ate. Like you would literally be sitting between Fire Chaser and, you know, our mine train with all of that going on around you. I think that would be pretty cool. But yeah, that is what we have going on. Remember too, the train it fully encompasses the park now, at least the outline of the park. We're gonna have another station over here where people can get on and off at. And as far as what's next goes, really want to do that implied haunted manor attraction. Like I said though, it's not gonna be real, because you know, this is already kind of, you know, really pushing a lot of people's limits on their, you know, it's long gone for consoles, but even on regular, just little rigs, this is kind of really starting to bog people down. So the manor, we're gonna do real dark rides in the future, but as far as Wilderness Springs, like manor goes, whatever we're gonna call it, it will be implied. And I think what I was thinking about, maybe doing it even right around in here, kind of up on a hill, because, you know, that path is kind of going to wind its way here with the creek. And I think that could give some cool sight lines to the manor while you're down here kind of passing Timberwolf. The manor is going to be out here, kind of propped up a little bit, almost like the one of the weenies out here. And then of course it'll have a large backstage area that'll be covered with woods and trees. And then of course we want to do like I was thinking of doing a wild eagle, you know, like wing rider out here, wing coaster, if we can. So that's just kind of some ideas I was kind of wondering about. Definitely want to get some more flat rides in if I can theme it correctly, and you know, we think we can make it work. But my biggest concern, the thing that I'm really wanting to get out of my head, that I've been kind of anxious to work on, just because, you know, I think we can make it look really cool, is that haunted manor. And you know, we're not gonna do the Disneyland style haunted mansion, because we kind of we're using it out here on the strip. So yeah, guys, if you are new, this is Wilderness Springs. This is it's an all-encompassing resort. We've got the resort and convention center over here. This is your Great Falls Lodge. So this is kind of like the epicenter of all the action over here. It's where you'll stay and kind of start your day. And you know, this whole side encompasses the Wilderness Springs Water Park. And then on the other side of the highway over here, obviously, is the theme park side of things that we started working on just a couple weeks ago. This project was started basically right around November 6th when the game officially released. So the game is, or the park, the resort is a little over a month old. I think I might have started it a little bit, a couple days on with the early access we got. Some of the content creators got. It's got a monorail that brings people back and forth from the resort to the theme park. So you'll notice we've got there's a monorail station inside the resort, and it takes you down the whole strip here, and then it kind of peels off here to its right and takes you into the theme park's monorail station. And I don't know if it has any people. I don't know if it has any riders right now, but we can take a look. This is the Resort Line Grand Falls. Should be coming here in just a sec. And there are a couple people. 2 people. So they'll get off and they will make their way down into the park. Maybe just had a little lunch at the resort and now they're coming over to get on some rides. And this is kind of like our little main area, our little show street area with all kinds of different stages and theaters, and really, really cool. Some cool blueprints that I've got, that I've picked up from some insanely talented creators like Jur and Oakwoods. Silver Spur Steakhouse over here kind of anchors this area as you move over into the Country Fair area and Fire Chasers area over here. And also too, one of you guys said we need a little sneaky path that maybe only pass holders know, and that's kind of what this little area is going to be. That takes you right over here to the entrance of Timberwolf, and you know, we'll eventually probably get you over here to the manor, the haunted manor, quicker than coming all the way out of Rivertown Junction or the top side of Country Fair. But yeah, guys, this is I'm so glad my little streak didn't last. I mean, my block didn't last long. I snapped out of it after this, after the really crappy Timberwolf episode, and now I feel like some of that magic is back in Wilderness Springs, just with the time that was spent on our mine train over here. And like I said, I'm just cheesing watching it. I'll have to get you guys some shorts out, as far as like get some good cinematic shots of the mine train coaster. But yeah, guys, I guess I've kept you here long enough. I will jump on out of here. I do not want to bore you with this place, but yeah, I will catch you in the next video. Thank you for stopping by.